Welcome back. Now I want to put all these ideas together with respect to the viscosity. As you know, the liquids have different kinds of viscosity. So if you take a big jar, which is a tall jar, and if you put a particular particle in a viscous fluid, you will see that it is slowly going through the liquid and coming down at the bottom. Now that phenomena where we look at two different particles, again we have blue particle and green particle. So we create a liquid of the blue particles in a VMDL simulation, and then put a small bunch of green particles in it. So it's almost like putting a small fraction or a blob of a green particle in it and see how the viscosity will affect. Now we can also change temperature and see the viscosity changes. So we are looking, and that is connected with the diffusion of one species into the other one. So this is even advanced than what we are looking into mean square displacement, but we can now see how these viscous effects can happen. And so now let's get to our screens and see the setup. The setup for this VMDL simulation called viscosity is you can look at these blue particles, and then you have these green blob of particles that is going to move through this. So, and if you look at here, we can show the averages. Now this gives you a very good experimental setup to do some experiment with the viscosity, which is also, as you know, dynamic property, and every liquid has a particular viscosity. Water has viscosity which is called 1 Pauli, and that is the standard, and then every other oil has a higher viscosity than the water, and that viscosity also prevents from water mixing with the oil, and the density differences. So now let's look at the number density. We look at the green blue interaction, which is very small. So these, and then there is also gravitational force, because this blob is coming down under the force of gravity in a rigid container. So we will look at what happens. So let's say if I do not have gravity first in the rigid container, let's start that. Now you can see, because, and this is the concentration. So all the green blobs are up here, but they are being moved up and down because there is no resultant force of the gravity coming down. So if you look at the kinetic energy versus potential energy, you can see all these particles, but let's go back to the particle type. Now you can look at this is a rigid container, and so this is still trying to diffuse down, and that's where you can look at the viscosity of this material is acting against it. But because it has no gravitational force, you can see that it's taking time. So let's put the gravity in again. So let me stop it and then put the gravity and then restart it. Now you can see, because of the gravity, you will see some diffusion going towards the bottom. So now it's moving down, and this is the displacement of a green particle with respect to time. And if you calculate the displacement versus the mean square displacement versus time, then you can calculate the diffusion coefficient of this material under gravitational forces. So now you can look at that, and now let's restart. While we are doing that, let's also look at restart the engine experiment and also do some different time steps to see what happens there, because we need to see the concentration going down. So now in this case, let's say if we do 50 time steps, so you can see that we are doing calculations, so it's moving fast. Now let's start it again, and then let's look at much higher time step, now 100, and you can see the property calculations. So you can see that there is a bouncing effect at the bottom as well. Gravitational forces are still acting. So now let's stop it here, and then let's change the, we'll start it again, and then change the temperature and see the effect of temperature on this. Now you saw that this is a very interesting phenomena, as you saw, that because of the temperature, the bonds broke between the atoms, and now it is completely all over the place. It's kind of mixing because of the temperature effect, and it's not separated. Now these particles have mixed into the system. So that's an interesting phenomena. Now let's stop it here and see, can we separate them out by reducing the temperature again. So you will see that because of the entropy of the system, and they are dispersed across, it will take them long time to find each other and maybe become blob as there is a phase separation. So now you can see, instead of one blob, there are 3 blobs going through the system, and there is certain displacement that they are having. So this displacement is now causing them to go around, and because of agitation, eventually they will find each other, and this is the situation here. Now let me stop here, and then let's see, we can restart this system again. Now let's look at some effect of the pressures on this. So we do have rigid container, we can put a piston, and let's also put some value there. And so we have 2 phase material. We are trying to find out diffusion of this material under pressure and constant bath. So the temperature will still keep low, so that there is no mixing. So now says okay. So now you saw that they are still intact. However, the diffusion has not taken place. The pressure is not affecting the diffusion much, because they are still not diffusing, and because there is no in this case there is no gravity, you can still see they are stuck up and they are not moving down. So if you look at the diffusion has become restricted quite a bit in this case. So now let's go back to the rigid container. As you see here, now in this case there is a diffusion again happening. So by measuring mean square displacement, you are able to create all these different kinds of effect. So let me stop here, and then let's do particle mass. That's another parameter we need to look at. So let's start the experiment again, and now in this case we'll increase the mass, and we will make it rigid body, let's say with gravity, because mass has some effect on gravity. So now you can see that the mass of the particle, especially B particle, is also higher. So they are also going down, and now this has become the surface of the blue particle on and the green particle are there. So they are separated because of the mass difference is not allowing them to diffuse at all. So this is another situation. So the point here is, what we are looking into these diffusion situations and different kinds of pressure and temperature conditions and the gravitational forces and the mass of the system, we can understand a lot of different complex situations that we could never do. Even if you want to do a real experiment, it's not possible for you to change the gravitational force. It's not possible for you to suddenly change the mass of the material. It's not possible for you to create a piston condition or a condition where you have a reflecting wall or even periodic wall, which we did not look at this stage. But I will encourage you to go to this viscosity experiment and understand that how the dynamic property, because you are able to measure the displacement of the green particle in the blue regime, you can find the diffusion constant of the blue particles in the green liquid. So these are very highly complex systems, and although they are simplified, because there are a lot of other effects like boundary effects and also the effect of the fluid dynamics between the 2 particles and the rigid body motion. So we are essentially making a lot of approximation here, but the beauty of molecular dynamics simulation is that now you have full control on the system, complex phenomena like viscosity with a very dynamic quality of the material. We are able to now find various properties that we want to calculate, and this is where we are now going towards the dynamic properties, where we are not only going to look at structural property GFR, some thermodynamic properties like melting temperature, or we can also look at some of the properties like GFR, along with what we call the dynamism of the system with mean square displacement, as well as we are looking at velocity autocorrelation function, where we can look at the vibrational spectra. So this opens up a very big field for you to now become a molecular dynamist and be a scientist, explore different things and come up with some of the very I would say discoveries in science, which is where we call this course as molecular dynamic simulation for discovery in science. So, let us start this journey of discovery together and become the best molecular dynamics engineers that you will be. Thank you.